2 charts, 1 report. Today, I'm going to show you a Band 6 sample to IELTS Writing Task 1, and at the end, I'm going to show you a 7.5 upgrade. So, stick around. Okay, so on the screen we have a IELTS Writing Task 1 sample from the Cambridge series. This is in Cambridge Book 1 Test 1. Let's read through the task. The charts below show the results of a survey of adult education. The first chart shows the reasons why adults decide to study. The pie chart shows how people think the costs of adult education should be shared. Write a report for a university lecturer, describing the information shown below. I will be following the introduction overview body 1, body 2 format. If you haven't seen my video on that, I'll put a link up here, so make sure you go over, watch that before coming and continuing. I've underlined survey of adult education, the reasons why adults decide to study, okay, that's obviously important information, how the costs of adult education should be shared, okay, how people think it should be shared. Let's have a look at our charts. What stands out to me is interest in subject and to gain qualifications. It's the most common reason. The least common, to meet new people. Okay, so we have our percentage along the x-axis, and then looking at the pie chart, you can see we've got individual, employer, and taxpayer in that order of how people think the course should be shared. Pretty simple task 1. It's a great one to practice if you're new to IELTS writing. The chart shows the results of a survey about adult education. The bar chart provides information about why adults study, and the pie chart shows how people think the costs of these courses should be shared. Please remember, at the beginning I said this is a Band 6 sample, so you can see there's not a lot of paraphrase. However, it's simple, it lays out the core information. It's a very strong 6, maybe 6.5 introduction, okay? One point I want to note here, the charts show, please don't forget that S for charts, okay? It's something I see time and time again. Third person errors in speaking and in writing. In this case, it's a plural. We have 2, okay? Don't make that mistake. All right, let's move on to our overview. So I'll put the introduction we just looked at on the screen. And for the overview, I'm going to be taking the most notable pieces of data or information. For the bar chart, I'm going to take the top 2 reasons, so interest in subject and get qualifications. I'm also going to take the least common reason, which is to meet people. Remember, in the overview, we don't need to give tons of data. We're summarizing the main points, okay? For the pie chart, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to take taxpayer and individual points, and I'll put those in the overview. There's no need to talk about all reasons. Here we only have 3. Sometimes you might have 5, 6, or 7. So I'm just going to be looking at the largest amounts and the smallest amounts or values, the largest and smallest value to summarize. Overall, most adults study because they are interested in a subject or want to gain qualifications. Very easy first sentence for the overview. I've given the 2 most common reasons. On the other hand, only a few study to meet new people. How easy is that? Really simple, right? In terms of costs, so now moving to that pie chart, individuals are expected to pay the most while taxpayers pay the least. Have a look at this structure, guys. Really simple. Take the most noticeable trend or most noticeable points of data, put them in your summary. Simple. Let's move on to body 1, the bar chart in this case. I'm going to only talk about the bar chart in my first body. I will use the whole second body for the pie chart. And we have a really, like I said before, we have a really simple chart here. Our data kind of goes down in a nice, easy to read format. I'm going to start with the most popular reason and just work my way down to the least common. Okay, so putting that into words, looking at the data points, according to the first chart, 40% of adults study because they are interested in a subject. Pretty simple. Second data point. And 38% do so to get qualifications. 1 sentence, 2 clauses. Pretty basic. About 1 in 5 people study because it helps them in their current job or gives them a better chance of promotion. Can you see how I'm grouping the similar data points in sentences? A smaller group of 12% study to change jobs, and only 9% do it to meet people. Really basic chart and grammar used here. There's nothing difficult. I've just laid out the data points pretty much one by one. Okay. Moving over to the pie chart, detail 2 or otherwise body 2. Hey, we're going to do the same thing. Again, we're going to look at the highest value and work our way around to the smallest. So starting with individual, moving to employer, and then taxpayer. Okay. The second chart shows opinions about who should pay for adult education. 40% of people believe individuals should pay for their own courses, while 35% think employers should share the cost. Only 25% say that taxpayers should contribute. So really simple layout, as I've mentioned many times. I think I've used the word simple too many times in this video, but you get the point. It is very easy, especially when we have easy tasks like this. Okay? All right. So I think I'm going to lay everything out here on the screen for you. If you'd like to, you can pause the video, you can read through it, copy parts out or any vocab that might be new for you. And we can also take a minute to think about why this is a band 6. We have a clear structure and task coverage. We spoke about all of the major points of data, and our organization is very clear for the examiner. Data comparisons included, right? We compared points. Apart from that, there are some negatives. It's quite simple. The language is basic, the grammar is basic, the transitions, and, while, shows, okay? There's nothing advanced going on. The grammar is all correct. It's just at a lower level. Sentences are mostly short and factual, right? They're not fully developed. At the beginning, I said I'll show you a 7.5 upgrade. Let me throw that up on the screen now, and we can talk through it together, okay? The 2 charts represent the findings of a survey concerning adult education. The bar chart outlines the main reasons why adults choose to study, while the pie chart illustrates public opinions on how the costs of such education should be divided. Overall, personal interest and gaining formal qualifications are the most common motivations for adult learners, whereas very few study mainly for social reasons. In terms of funding, Individuals are expected to cover the largest share of the costs, followed by employers and taxpayers. As shown in the bar chart, the most frequent reason for studying is personal interest, cited by 40% of respondents. A similar proportion, 38%, pursue further education to obtain qualifications. Around 1 in 5 study either because it is useful for their current job, 22%, or to improve promotion prospects, 20%. An equal share of 20% enjoy learning itself, while smaller percentages study to change jobs, 12%, or to meet new people, 9%. The pie chart reveals that the largest proportion of respondents, 40%, believe that individuals should bear the main financial responsibility for adult education. Employers are considered for the second most responsible group, at 35%, whereas taxpayers are expected to contribute the least, at 25%. Alright, more fully developed sentences. Here I'm going to highlight some really good things you guys should be writing down if you are around a 6, 6.5 and you want to boost your writing to a 7.5 or above. The two charts present the findings of a survey, very formal language here. Concerning adult education, not about. We're using more formal academic language. Outlines the main reasons instead of gives the main reasons. Illustrates instead of shows. Should be divided. Now we have paraphrase, okay? The most common motivations for adult learners. Reasons. Okay, so we're paraphrasing in this 7.5 version. The next highlighted mark. Most frequent reasons for studying. Nice paraphrase. Cited by 40% of respondents. Wow, very academic. Nicer language. Cited by, shown by, or represented by. Nice paraphrase. A smaller proportion. Very good. Obtain qualifications instead of get. More formal language. The pie chart reveals that instead of shows that. Should bear the main financial responsibility. Excellent academic collocation. Very formal. Employers are considered the second. Oh, what's that grammar? And taxpayers are expected too. That's right. Passive voice. So we have nicer grammatical points. Sentences are longer and the language is paraphrased with more academic words. So a really simple writing task 1 following the basic method. Introduction, overview, detail 1 and detail 2. Alright guys, I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.